Hello everyone. We continue with the idea we need to learn chess from the end to the beginning. And very simple positions. If you really learned chess properly, you can find the solutions very easy. In this position, white to move, take a pause and calculate how can you win. Okay, let us think together. In this position, black has a position that is distant a position. A position when kings stay opposite each other 3, 5, or even 7 squares. Like here is 3 squares a position, and it can be sorry, 5 squares a position, not 7. Okay, and usually a position will make a draw, but here is no opposition on b on square b7 because pawn will block the square. That's why white can win. An example: king f5, king x7. They takes the position, but now king b5 and no king b7. Black lose opposition. After king a8, king s6, king b8, king b6. Example: king a8, king. Yes, and now good chance. Black can play king c8, and after c7, king d7, king b7, white will win. I will show it, yes, but they have another chance to play. I will try to return moves back. After king b6, they can play king a8. Remember this, try to stalemate, yes. After c7, that is stalemate. That will be draw. So how to play for the white in this position? Right, king c7, after that king d7, and promote the queen. Okay, well, next position. Here is white to move, and evaluate this position. How do you think how this game will finished? So from this position we can understand something valuable. We can understand about distant position. That's when you put your king opposite opponent's king, and the same color square, yes, and it can be 1 square between, 3 square between, or even 5 square between. And here after king f2, white rush to take as critical squares, that is squares e5, g5, h5 in this position. If they reach these squares, they will win, but black can take a position. An example: if now black move king f7, they will lose the game because king f3 and white take a position, distant position. And now king g6, king g4, king f6, king f4, like this. I meant if they moved before. Yeah. An example: king f6, king f4, or even king e6, king g4 also possible in king e4. So king f6, king f6, king f4, king g6, king g4, and white has a position. And remember, when king move to one side, you move to another side. Always, yes. That's king move to one side, you move to another side. Remember this principle: king move to one side, you move to another side. I will repeat it to you in much more complicated endings. You do the same job. King move to one side, you move to another side. Here, just calculate. Here should not be stalemate. If you, an example, move king f7, there should not be stalemate. King h8, g5, king h. Yeah, we can promote pawn with check after king h8, and g6, g7 with checks. So black can try here g4, king h7. So king f7, king h7, g4, king h6, king f6, king h7, g5, and maybe king h8, g6, king g8, draw. Yes, trap like this. But king f7 and g6 is check. So, but after king g8, white can move, cannot move g6 because king f8 and draw a position. So need to move king g6. So remember here, after king h8, you don't play. You can play king f7 and promote the queen. Yes, in this position. Okay. So, but how to make a draw in this position? Okay, we actually that's we already learned. Yes. How to make a draw? Need to take a position. Look, king f8, black takes a position, and now after king f3, king f7 again. Make from distant opposition short opposition, and now if king f4, king f6, king g4, king g6, and that is draw. King. An example: king f4, king f6, king g4, king g6, and we cannot push out the king, so white will move the pawn, and that will be draw. I hope you remember, just always keep your king in front of the pawn, so always move in one line with the pawn. Yes, and take in a position always, and that will be stalemate. Okay, hope you can understand it. That is very important ending. From this ending, if you understand it principles, you can understand many endings. Okay, move forward. This simple position, take a pause, white to move, how to win for the white, or that maybe that will be draw. So calculate. It's very easy. White just need to bring the king to g7, and after that move the pawn. If we move the pawn, it will be big mistake because opponent's king can block the pawn. So just first don't allow the king to block the pawn. So shouldering, yes, we just push out. It's not really shouldering, but we don't allow the king to block the pawn, and we just simply promote the pawn. Okay, just to know only very simple position. Move to the next position. Oh, very good position. That's about a position. There in this position, black to move. So please calculate variations. Think. What do you think about this position? So in this position, white has a position, and you. It seems like if white has a position, they must win. But here, black can use b4 pawn to make a draw. And how? Because king can't move to the square b4 to take a position. Only move king b8 will make a draw in this position. And why? Because white cannot take a position, or they cannot move king b4. That is the pawn. And when they move forward, simply black can take a position, and that's already draw. Okay, and another example, a very good example. In this position, white to move. If you can think by yourself, yes, take a pause. If you know this, it will be easy. If you don't, try to think a little bit. Maybe you can find the solution by yourself. Okay, I will continue. I hope you really took a pause and calculate the variations. In this position, if white move to c6, black can move to e5, and white will be in Zugzwang. That is, I will show king c6, king e5. They will make move and lose the game. They need to move out from the pawn, and black can take the pawn. Okay, they cannot move king c6, but in case in this position, yes, in this very position, black to move, yes, they also will give up the pawn. They need to move their king out, and white can simply take the pawn. So how to get this position with black to move? Yes, white need to play king c7. And after king e5, king c6, white can win the pawn. Okay, and next position. A very good position, and here you can take a pause and calculate a little bit more. White to move in this position. And here is only winning move is e5. An example, if you move your king, yes, to take the pawn, to rush to take the pawn, yes, black can move e5 themselves. And after king d5, king g7, king e5, oh, white move anyhow. White win anyhow, yes, I just miscalculated, sorry. So in this position only e5 will win, yeah, but why? So let us think together. Yes, I thought if king go to the pawn, black can move e5 and then can manage a draw, but it's not true. Yes, king still can move to d6 and black cannot take a position. So I will think with you now. Yeah, you can move e5 first move immediately, or you can move e5 second move. Like king c6, king g6, take a position, distant a position, yes. And if now king d6, king f6, and that will be draw, yes, now it's dangerous. Because after king d6, king f6, black has a position, and after e5, king f5, black even can win this position, like this, e5, king f5, and white in Zugzwang. So they will lose the pawn, they need to move out, and in case they move something like, oh, if they move out, king just take the pawn, yeah. So white need to play e5 with idea king f5, king d6, and they put black in Zugzwang. Yes, but if king g5, how can you win? That is the question. Did you calculate king g5? If you move king d6, king f5, so take a pause and find winning move for the white. Yeah, so right, the same previous example. King d7 first, king f5, and king d6. And white will easy to win in this position. Okay, move to the next position, last position. Oh, a very good example. In this position, white to move, yes, and take a pause, calculate variations. Can you manage a draw here? Okay, and only way for the white to make a draw is get situation when black king take a2 pawn and white king block it, like white king will be on the c2 square. So black take a2 pawn and white will take a square c2. And if if white move behind the king, yes, something like king d7, king c5, king c7, king c4, king c6, king c3, king c5, king b2, it's not enough. You see, king on c3 and not on c2. It is not enough. They will lose the game. Okay, so first move king d7 is right, but you need to go from the side, not go behind the king. Try to move from the side. And for the black, the best idea is try to push out. The best idea is shouldering, try to push out the king. And here they cannot push out anymore because after king g1, king g3, and white even can win this game. They will take a 3 pawn, at least they will try, yes. so need to move to the pawn. But when moved to the pawn, king successfully arrived on c2 square, and that will be draw, that will be stalemate. King c1, a2, king c2, and stalemate. Okay, I hope you start to understand endings deeper, and these puzzles wasn't difficult for you. Yes, there are a lot of much more complicated endings, but if you don't have good foundation, you cannot understand deeper. So learn carefully from the beginning. It will help you to understand something much more interesting, much more deeper. So I hope you could enjoy these endings, you could get something new. So keep growing in chess. Bye bye.